Okay Reddit. First post ever. Don't know what the fuck is going on. Spoiler alert. I say fuck a lot. Warning. Police jogging and shifting between past and present tense. I just wrote people don't be so critical. Okay backstory. I'm a cop. Been doing it a few years now. Have seen a lot of fucked up things for working in a small town. I work in redacted. Names will be changed. Story happened. I don't know what to think about it. For any locals, they can agree. The name redacted tends to be attributed to an upper middle class mailing address. But the borough itself, my jurisdiction, is like the fucking Bermuda Triangle. I worked last night. Finally have calmed my nerves enough through a few cat naps and a fuck ton of whiskey and cigarettes to type this out. The night felt strange from the start. We hit the ground running when we started at 1800. I was in for a long 12-hour shift. It seemed like all our normal crazies and assholes were out and about. Suicide threat. Domestic. Bullshit disturbance calls. The norm. But, thing is, last night wasn't a full moon. Yeah. Call me superstitious, but when there's a full moon, the craziest shit happens. Anyway, I digress. It's just shy of 0300. I barely had time to scarf down a meal on the run. Pull into our local borough, outside of my jurisdiction, and grab my normal late-night feast of coffee, jerky, sweet tarts, and if I'm feeling a bit healthy, an applesauce pouch. I'm about to get back in my car when my ear squelches 5313. Suspicious activity reported in the area of West 5th and North Valley Forge. Lights are on in the factory and movement was seen inside. Well fuck me. That's half a block away from an abandoned steel factory. I think I've been inside maybe once so far. 5313 I copy en route, and I hopped in my car and started on my way. I wasn't hauling ass or anything. I didn't think it would be anything crazy. Plenty of times we get these calls and it's the property owner, or a cleaner, or something. 5313. Other units can disregard. I'm about a minute out. I'll notify if I need another car when on scene. Stupid. Rookie mistake. I'm not even really a rookie anymore with 5 years on, but I was complacent. I arrived on scene and the place was dark. Like dark. No lights on, and the street lights on the street were out. I had just been down the street not even an hour earlier and they were fine. Fucking kids and their fucking pellet guns. I cannot wait for school to start. I muttered under my breath. 5313 on location. Roll another unit. Nothing showing. Static 5313 to county. Do you copy? Static. Fuck it. I typed a message to county asking for another car and saying I was heading in the main warehouse. As soon as I hefted the gate up and open, I got a chill down my spine. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. There's a common belief as a cop. When you get a gut feeling that something is off, it is. I drew my weapon, a Glock 22.40 caliber, and slide my finger down the slide to the light. I didn't kick it on yet. My night vision was kicking in. I'd be able to see movement and didn't want to give away my position. I checked my watch. Backup should be here by now. It takes 10 minutes tops to get from one side of town to the other in normal traffic. At this time it should take less than 4. Watch read 0259. Okay. All of 2 minutes out. Suddenly I heard a sound. A dull thrum. Not mechanical. Almost musical. Like a dull horn or something. I know I should have waited for my backup, but curiosity got the best of me and I started moving in. The closer I got, the louder the horn sound got. And then something got really fucked up. And I heard a voice. Muffled. Far away. But chanting. And it wasn't English. I don't know what the fuck language it was. It sounded like Latin. But not, if that makes sense. I slowly and methodically took the steps down towards the basement. The source of the sound. It got louder with each step. But somehow, it was off. It's not like I was hearing the sound with my ears. The noise was in my head, but intensified with each step. At this point, shit got dark. Real dark. Darker than dark. I double-flicked my gun light so it locked in place on the strobe. Makes things slightly harder to track for me, but is completely blinding and disorienting to anyone the light flashes on. I tried to mentally retrace the layout, and I remembered the cafeteria in the middle of the basement. The only way to insulate the food and the men from the toxins being used in the forges and such. I made my way to the door and again tried to radio for the location of my backup. Static. I checked my watch and it read 0300. God, I had been on scene for more than a minute. At least 5. Backup should have been there. County should have called for status at least a minute ago. Nothing. I make my way to the door and see a shadow through the window. I pushed the door in and yelled police. Don't move. And leveled my weapon at his back. He was wearing a black suit. White pinstripes. Faded. Worn. His hair was slicked back. And what I could see of the back of his neck, he was pale. Too pale. The movie powder. Pale. He slowly turned around. Hands up. And I saw his face. Its face. I don't fucking know anymore. He was so pale. His eyes. The irises and pupils were black. Blacker than black. The blackest I had ever seen. It was like looking into oblivion. He smiled at me, the creepiest fucking smile I had ever seen, and suddenly the chanting and thrumming in my head stopped. I could see the illuminated outline of my watch. It still showed 0300 hours. He kept his smile, and then his face contorted into hate and rage. He began shouting at me at the top of his lungs the chant that I heard in my head. It was almost Latin but not. Suddenly there was a pain in my head and my back. My shoulders felt like they were on fire. My back felt like I had 1,000 white-hot knives carving me from the inside out. The pain was too much. The room started to light up. My vision got hazy. Everything turned white. And then I was out. I was woken up by my partner. Read 5,326 to county. I have 5,313 star teams. I felt fine. Beams. What the fuck? I'm fine. I sat up. I looked down. My shirt was in tatters. As was my vest. My fucking Kelver vest. The ceramic plate had left an indent in my chest, but the back of my vest was shredded. I sat up and asked Reed what happened, and he told me that he got here shortly after 0300 and found me like this. I asked what time it was and he told me 0313. I checked my watch and it read 0300. The man was gone. Reed never saw him. All I could see around me was a single black feather. Now sleep. I don't know what the fuck this all means. I was diagnosed with a slight concussion, but my back was fine. X-rays and MRIs were all negative for damage. Nothing on my skin to show what had happened to my vest or shirt. I'm fucking shaking. Those fucking eyes. Like staring into oblivion. Do any of you have any idea what this could have been? What might have happened? I mean, fuck. I'm trained to handle dangerous and scary situations. But I can't even make sense of what happened. Please help. Will update soon. Edit. Redacted the name of the town for job security and all. If anyone who posted the name or remembers it could please not mention it again, I'd greatly appreciate it. With all the other crap that's happening due to this, losing my job really doesn't need to be one of my worries too. Thanks. Will update soon.